What's up, Charles?
What's up, my brother? How are you?
Awesome, awesome. The top of your head is cut off.
Well, let me just lift this puppy up.
There we
How's that?
go. Much better, much better. Aloha, my friend. Aloha, everybody, and welcome to our show tonight. Very special show, as you all probably are aware of. And we will be having Kumu Hula, Leina'ala Pavao-Jardin from Halau Kale Mokihana o Leina'ala, as you all know, who just came home with the sweep of the 2022 Merrie Monarch there in Hilo, Hawaii. So we're excited to have her on tonight. She's going to share with us the journey. She might even have some special guests. I'm not sure. But I'm excited, man. I am stoked, 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 stoked. Charlie is, you see, Charlie has his new headset on, so it's like a new toy. So he's playing around. But
Well, here I
see,
am.
mine is the old fashioned AirPods that's nicely hidden behind my fat cheeks and beard.
Well, it's you picking me up okay now?
Loud and clear, man. Crystal clear. It's like really
Okay.
nice.
Well, aloha no everyone. I'm glad to be back here on the Mel and Charlie show. Thank you to my brother Mel for holding down the fort. Whew, it's been a journey over at the Lihue Airport, as well as all the other airports, as we have been seeing an uptick in the visitor count arriving at all the different islands. And I hope and pray that our visitors are compassionate. We want to show you our aina, but then I hope and pray that you respect our aina and the communities that surround wherever you go, because there are people living here. This is their home, and we want to make sure it stays pristine the way we remember it and the way we want it to be remembered moving forward. When that I don't want to sound um, negative, but there's going to come a point in time where we will leave back our legacy, right? And go to another life. And I hope and pray that we can keep everyone can remember Hawaii and keep Hawaii, I should say. So, but it's great to be back home.
Yeah, good to have you
Yeah.
back. I think you talk about Hawaii and the culture, and the Merry Monarch is. I gotta tell you, man, I was stoked. We sat and watched, and it's the hula, the mele is wonderful, and when you hear the stories, the interviews, the commentary,
Hmm.
I learned a lot, and we're gonna learn a lot tonight. I can tell you, tonight is gonna be an education for all of us. Kumu Hula Leina'ala, 10 years in the making, folks. 10-year anniversary of her halal, and she went up there and she did it, and brought home the gold, if you will. 10 years anniversary. Oh, oh, there's Charlie. See, that's how you forget already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like it's the best halal in the state, in the world, actually, because that competition is open to halal anywhere in the world. And they went up there, and I got to tell you, man, chicken skin moments throughout the competition. Because I got to tell you, if you didn't watch it, all of those halal were on target. They were super, super talented. And for our Kauai zone, Halau Kale Mokihana o Leina'ala to bring it all home is just amazing, amazing. So I'm excited, man. I'm so excited, and she should be on in a couple of minutes, though. Patsy was telling me that hey, Charlie should be singing for those dancers at the Merry Monarch, man. And
Well, I will say one thing. It's an honor. I've played not at the Merrimack, but for other halaus. And one thing I learned as a not as a classically trained musician, it's just someone who tinkered around backyard jams and then decided to learn a new instrument, which was the bass. A totally different theory, different format on how to play the bass. But what I learned by playing, I used to play with Leilani Bond. Okay, that's Larry Rivera's daughter, and through her, it taught me, or she taught me, that timing is of the essence, and the musicians have to be timed just right with the movements of the dancers, and that's everything because one slight misbeat, it can cause a train wreck. Trust me. And so that's why I think, I mean, maybe I'm cutting myself self short, but I think that's why I kind of stay away from the big stage. I mean, I don't mind playing with the likes of, Amy or Uncle Cyril, or, even opening up for the Macaw Sons. But it's when you have these hard-working ladies of the Halau and they put their time and effort into putting out the best, then you as a musician, you got to be the best. And it's not only voices. It's your technique of timing, how you strum, because you actually make the dancers comfortable to want to get into the move as well. And if they're dancing a certain cadence and you're going a different cadence, like I said, it's a train wreck waiting to happen. So, whew,
Yes, Cynthia, I see you folks have your aloha wear on. You're going to have a great show. Yes, this is going to probably be one of the best shows ever, I think, tonight with Kumu Hula Leina'ala. I am wearing purple. I don't know. It's look on my screen. It's showing blue, but this is purple. Patsy had to go dig out the purple aloha shirt just for tonight, so I hope it's coming across as purple. But anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Merrie Monarch Festival overall champion. Boom. Kumu. Oh my God. Look at your name. Kumju.
Aloha.
Kumju.
Oh my gosh. How do I change that?
Good thing wasn't a spelling bee at the Merry Monarch, boy.
it's
Kumju
okay.
Lena Allah.
How do I do that? How do I change that?
I don't know. It's not very important because everybody knows it's
Yeah.
Kumu.
Well, that is, we don't want kumju. Hold on
let
one
let
second.
me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Oh, here we go. Edit name. Here we go. I can do it. I can do it because I can do it. Boom, and just like that.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I can put all kind of names up there. We had fun one show with Uncle Charlie. We called them all kinds of things. But
Oh,
so how's it going, Kumu? Welcome home. Congratulate. Oh, we got a bunch of people on tonight. Oh my. Oh, and
yes.
they're
Some of
still
my girls
beeping
are going
on.
to jump on.
Okay, we're gonna see. I don't know how many I can fit on here, but we're gonna bring them all on, Kumu. We're gonna bring them all on.
There's my daughter and
And
Jaden and Dilo. There's Akala.
all right. Well, welcome, ladies. Congratulations on an amazing festival competition, and you guys did it, girls. Um, somebody get their phone
Yeah.
audio on. If you could just turn down the volume, so because I really don't want to hear myself. But before we get started, I just want to show this picture to our viewers. That is the picture that says it all. All of the awards. You got the trophy. You got the drum. You got the ipo. You got all the beautiful ladies, and of course Kumu. Um, that is one heck of a picture. That just is amazing. How you guys all feeling, Kumu? How you
Oh my
feeling?
gosh. It feels like a dream, right? Like out of body experience. You participate in the Merrie Monarch Festival, and yes, it is indeed a competition, but you realize really quickly that there's a bigger purpose. Like it's not about the competition. You realize that you've been blessed to be a storyteller or be the voice of a composer. And so you take on the kuleana, like, and then you forget that it's a competition because all you want to do is bring honor to that composer, right? And so, each year we've just dive deeper and deeper into our mele, better understanding, better connection, better manifestation. We've grown. It's been 10 years of Merrie Monarch. And so, I've done a lot of interviews up until today, all week, and everyone asked the same question. Did we expect it? And I think my girls would all agree and say no, because at some point along the journey, you forget that it's a competition. And I think that's the beauty of it.
I would like to say that, and welcome to you, Kumu, as well as your beautiful ladies. Welcome to Mel and Charlie. It's an honor, and first time I've ever seen my wife cry watching the Merrie Monarch when they first announced the Kahiko, and then over to the Awana, and then as it went on. But you know what? Something was very, very tall telling about this year's way that I guess the judges perceive all the different halaus, and that is they really went with traditional. They were really looking at the traditional aspect. And so I was sharing with Stephanie. I said the dance is beautiful and it's very traditional, and yet
Mhm.
there were beautiful dances from other halal, but they kind of took it, to me, I felt, a little bit out of the realm. And it looks like the judges were just bringing it back to say, hey, this is Hawaii. This is the tradition. Let's stay with the tradition. Since this is the first time we're gathering after the pandemic, right? Was to
Right.
bring out the forefront of what hula is. So now it's that resurgence, bringing the interest back for all to come and see. So I think for me, it was, I mean, if you knew me, everything is cop shows, cop shows, cop shows. But this was one of those nights that, hey, I go watch Marimana.
Yes, yes. Oh my
It
gosh.
So,
was
Kumo,
nice.
you have a few of your halal here. If you want to introduce them or have them introduce themselves.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would like to first introduce Akala Aiwohi. She's one of my alakai, and she happens to be next to me each and every year as a ho'opa'a with me on that stage. So she truly is a sense of peace for me, and we do our thing, and that is so special. I know she's got me, I have her, and together we lead the ladies on. And so I'd love to introduce her, and Akala, if you would like to say anything.
Welcome, Akala.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Um, Absolutely. Very, very happy to be a part of this yearly, and such an honor to be a part of being on Next to Kumu's side. And definitely we have each other's back, and just it's just a beautiful thing, an honor to be there on stage, and first foremost dancing for 5 years, and then a huge honor to be chanting next to Kumu. So very, very blessed and glad to be here.
Well, it's glad to have you here tonight too. Who's next, Kumo?
I want to introduce so this was a dynamic group because two of our dancers were in Hilo. My daughter and my niece, Breeze and Jaden. And Breeze, in the truck coming home, we were talking now how awesome our reception was at the airport. And Breeze was like, Mom, remember when Uncle Mel taught me that trick with the hand when I was a little girl? Anyway, so many memories. And years later, but Breeze and Jaden, you guys want to say aloha from Hilo, the home of Merrie Monarch?
Aloha! Thank you so much, Uncle Mel and Uncle Charlie, for having us tonight.
Okay, is that it? We brought you all the way to say thank you, Uncle. And
I mean,
how you guys feeling? I mean, you guys are in Hilo. Um,
yeah, I don't think the buzz has gone down in Hilo just yet. People are still talking about Merrie Monarch everywhere we go, and it it's just a constant reminder. I mean, us and our, what is that, 12 other hula sisters, including my mom and Auntie Akala, we worked so hard for so long. So to hear people talk about it is just like a good constant reminder of all of that hard work, and we're really looking forward to next year because Hilo is definitely on a high right now after we finally got Merrie Monarch back. So it's really nice to still be here and enjoy that.
Yeah, and then we're just so grateful once again for all the support coming from Kauai, because this year would not have been possible without our supporters. And it's just been, every journey is different, but this one is just so, so special. And of course, we are so humbled and grateful to have done so well. But either way, this journey was just unforgettable, and we're so grateful. So thank you.
Awesome. We're going to talk about that journey a little bit. Who's next, Kumu?
I believe I have my sweet Chanelli on here. I can't see everyone's faces, but Chanelli is a senior at Kapa'a High School, and she talked about balancing a schedule and balancing activities. And this girl, she knows how to do it. She's, a cheerleader and balancing hula, and was able to do both. And so I'm so thankful to her also for being a shining role model for her younger hula sisters, that you can achieve multiple things. You don't have to just pick one thing. Dream big, do it all.
Chanelli, welcome.
Aloha, thank you for having me. This journey for me this year was very unexpected. I like to thank all of Kauai for coming home and just welcoming us with open arms. This year, we really seen Kauai come together, and it was an honor, and it was very humbling to see that. And it feels very loving, and that's all that we ever wanted for our island.
Yeah, you guys did that extremely
Mhm.
well. Extremely well. And you guys are the home team. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
are Kauai's home team. So, all right. So, who's next?
Next, I have Zerica Costacimo. Zerica has been with me from a very, very young age, and I mean, mostly everyone here. And Zerica, everything we do. Zerica, how did you like that? Beautiful. Everything is beautiful in Zerica's eyes. So, Zerica, why don't you share with Uncle Charlie and Uncle Mel and everyone watching? I mean, what was this journey like for you, sweetheart?
Aloha, my name is Zerica. This year was my fourth year participating with Kumu Leina'ala and my hula sisters at the Merrie Monarch Festival, and it was very different from all the rest. I feel that it was a very smooth journey. Something I'm very grateful for in this journey was that we went on multiple huaka'i to see all the places that we were dancing about, which I believe is one of the reasons why we did very well in the Merrie Monarch Festival. Um, we had the opportunity to dance and really get to know where our composers were at and just see the beauty of Kauai and share that with Hilo.
Awesome. Awesome. The Huaka'i, they mentioned that in the commentary throughout the Merrie Monarch, and you guys
Mhm.
just did so well. All
You know,
right.
we always do that. Like whenever we do a mele, especially if it's on Kauai, we always go to the place. But this year, our mele was so intriguing, and we just went back and kept on going back and go to the resting place of the composer for our Kahiko Wahine Keaulipa. And that was the first place I went to when I left you folks at the airport. I went straight to her gravesite and paid my respects to her. And that's, I think, truly what it's all about. Like I said earlier, is honoring the Hakumele. And so that was amazing. We also have on my Alakai and Uniki recently Kumu Hula Jaina Parangao. You can see her here. So this was Jaina's 10th year as an Olapa on that stage. And so she wears multiple hats in Halau. And someday soon, she will venture off and have her own Halau. But for now, she's still learning, and she can share with you this was her 10th year. So
Aloha, Uncle Mel and Uncle Charlie. Mahalo nui for giving us the opportunity to extend not our mahalo not only to our family but everyone around the world even. And like all of my hula sisters said, none of this would be possible without your folks' prayers and love and just being able to uh, perpetuate the hula and for you folks to see it and to uh, be able to feel what we feel when we dance and to move you folks. And for me, this journey yes, definitely multiple hats. I was bestowed the privilege and honor. But the best thing or the most outstanding thing for me is my younger hula sisters and being able to see them blossom and to take on their kuleana that was handed to them weeks prior, even the week of the Merrie Monarch. And they take it and they ran with it and they did what they had to do. And it just, I mahalo them, because if they didn't take their kuleana serious, and it would have been tough for me to try to juggle everything. And that was this year, is definitely seeing them blossom and grow.
Awesome, awesome. Kumu, if you could really give us a little overview, maybe of the Merrie Monarch and how your halau came to be, and then anyone can jump in at any time. But I just kind of wanted you to give us kind of an overview of the actual. Well, let's start with your halau, and then talk a little bit about the Merrie Monarch Festival and how that all works.
All right. Well, in 1995, I graduated from the University of Hawaii at Hilo. But while I was in Hilo, for 4 years, I studied under Kumu Hula Ray Fonseca. And growing up here on Kauai, my first kumu was Ku'ule Punua. That was just for a little bit because she stopped teaching in Kalaheo. And then for most of my youth, it was Auntie Lovey Apana. And then when she became ill, her sister, Auntie Bev. But when I graduated and went to Hilo, I entered a whole new world of hula, truly. And I was embraced by Kumure Fonseca and his halau. And then when I graduated, I was like, oh my gosh, like this can't be the end of hula for me. I knew it was so much part of my life and who I was. Came home to Kauai to care for my mom. And I told my kumu, what am I gonna do? Like, I miss you, I miss the halau, but I have to be here. He said, you know what? Why don't you try your hand at teaching? And I was like, what? On the phone. He said, find the local senior center. Anyway, we know the senior center is right next to my house at Kalaheo Neighborhood Center. And so that is how our halau started, with very, very humble beginnings. And now fast forward 25 years, we just celebrated 25 years, and it's been amazing. We're still growing. I'm not meaning in size, but in ike, in knowledge, and yeah, and but the Merrie Monarch, I was able to participate several years with Auntie Lovey, and then of course with Kumure. And so I just enjoy that platform. I think it's something about Hilo, something about the Edith Kanakaole Stadium is so extremely special. Merrie Monarch was also co-founded by Uncle George Naope. Uncle George Naope is the kumu to my kumu, Ray Fonseca. So I almost feel like it's a kuleana that I kind of have to be a part of, that to perpetuate and see his vision continue. And then with the passing of my kumu is when received an invitation to participate in the Merrie Monarch Festival. And that, now it's 10 years later, and it's been amazing, an amazing journey. And I want to mention, Mal, that each year the group changes, right? The dynamics change. Some of my girls graduate, go off to college, some get married, have children, their profession, whatever it is, it changes. You have your steadies that are there every single year, but it's been so beautiful, and I want to give a shout out to all of those over the years who have come with us to Merrie Monarch, because while this was a beautiful celebration for Kauai this year, it took 9 years, 9 years of growth, of hard work, of learning. I said on one of our interviews, you don't get a manual on how to participate in Merrie Monarch or how to do certain things in hula, especially when you're traveling, how to transport your lei and all that. We had to learn along the way how to do all those things while being respectful to our forests and our lei, the kino lau, whatever adorns our body. So it's been learning all along the way. And what is so amazing is the team. I always call my halau my lei Mokihana, ku'u sweet lei Mokihana, because every Mokihana berry represents someone that makes it all happen. It's a team, it's a village, it's an island that makes it all happen. So behind the scenes, I wish we could film everything because you have instrumental people in our halau that, everybody has this special gift. Some people, their gift is lay, yeah. So they Anolani, by the way, if she's out there listening, we are forever grateful to her because this girl has embraced the art of lay making, and she just keeps on showing me samples at Kumu. How you like this? How you like this? Let's try this. And she helps us to get that all ready and set to go to Hilo. And then, we have our makeup and hair people, Chantel Raposo, Nikki Kashiwabara, you name it, that together, all of these talents come together to create what you see on the stage, cooks in the background, everything behind the scenes. It's amazing. So for that 7 minutes, you see the story that we're sharing, but there's so much more behind the story too. And so I want to just, especially, and I think everybody on here want to give a shout out to all our Mokihana makers happening in the background that is like doing really the hard work that is sometimes not seen, and but it doesn't go unnoticed because we would not make it to that 7 minutes on the stage. Our So I'm so grateful. And if I start naming everybody, I may forget. So I don't want to do that. But, I just want to thank every single person each and every year for the past 10 years that have helped us to get onto in that Edith Kanaka Ole Stadium and on that stage, and have allowed us to share our love for the hula.
This year, for many that watched this special event, what was different was everything was controlled because of the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
and how it was asked to be put on. And what I found, the many that I spoke to, it was so organized and it was so enjoyable. This is the first time I have to say I was truly enjoyed the whole experience because every halal had almost equal time.
Mm-hmm.
When it was before, you'd have a lot of yelling. Everyone had to go up kiss the judges. Sometimes you get like on train of like almost 100 girls going up, and it was just very long winded, and
Yeah.
it sort of took away from the exposure of the other halal that was waiting to come on, that type of thing. And I just hope and pray, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to anyone out there that enjoys the yelling, the cheering, but I truly believe there's a time and place for everything. Right now, at on stage, it's to showcase what the tradition is all about. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about the chihus and all of that. It's just that the hard work that all
We
you
had
ladies,
some
yeah,
chihus in the audience. We did
yeah,
have some chihus, and it's hard, to
yeah,
tame that
exactly.
excitement. But I agree with you, Uncle Charlie. It was a very the space, the atmosphere was set. Last year was the return of Merrie Monarch after a year off, but there was no audience, and I actually really enjoyed it. Not saying I want to go back to that, but I enjoyed it. It was extremely intimate. It was intimate. It was We shared it, shared our stories with seven um, experts in the hula in Oli, in Olelo, Hawaii. And so I love that. It was super intimate. No audience. So not a single chihu, not a single clap. In fact, the judges clapped a little bit after just to make us feel, appreciated. But this year, I would say about half of the stadium was full. And hats off to Auntie Luana, right? I believe Big Island Mayor gave her the green light to fill that stadium up and go for it. And she said no. She felt like in order to keep things at a pretty safe level, she didn't want to pack in that tennis stadium. And so mahalo nui to Auntie Luana and her daughter Kathy. And so, yeah, there was an excitement. There was a feel of audience this year, but we could just feel everybody at home too. I think it was our own excitement. I know for me, it was my excitement to share and take everybody to Kauai in that 7 minutes.
Well, I would like to say just a short bit, Mel. The reason why I feel kind of ancient with all of you young ladies tonight is because I still remember Breeze when she used to come with her daddy to the Grove Room, And when myself and John Mahi would be playing, she and her sister would dance the hula for a lot of the visitors in there. And she was a tiny little thing. And I look how grown up she is now. So I think the tradition lives on when
Oh,
I
it's
see her. So I am so blessed. In my lifetime, I get to see the growth of all the small ones actually becoming uh, young adults, beautiful women, embracing the hula and sharing with the world what they have learned. And I hope and pray that for those out there that's watching, that maybe you kind of take an interest in it and see. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but even for a Kane like myself, just to watch. I would love to learn how to dance, but Auntie Steph will not let me wear a mala out on stage, so therefore that nixes that right there.
right.
Kumu, I think preparation for the Merrie Monarch is intense, and it's I want to hear from some of your dancers, but the preparation starts early. It's very intense, and it obviously shows, right? At the Merrie Monarch, it was clear. I couldn't stop using the word flawless when we were doing that live at the airport, because that's exactly what it was. But I kind of wanted to hear. Let's go to kind of the older participants. Well, I know Akala did not participate this year, but she has participated in the Merrie Monarch festivals. Akala, you've been there for the last 10 years, and you've been a performer, and then you've been a uh, I don't know, like a coach or support. Explain to us the difference and the intensity of both being of training to get on that stage, and then most recently uh, helping the coaching of the halal.
So, as a dancer, doing that 5 years, it's definitely tough. Um, and because you just want to learn everything correctly, you just want to dance as one. Um, so it is tough, but we do have time to learn everything, and then time to perfect everything, and then blocking too. So it is tough. However, because I was always one of the older ones dancing, but it definitely makes you feel good when you are dancing next to a 16-year-old or a 13-year-old and or a 21-year-old, because I started, I believe, when I was 41. And so very proud to be even asked to uh, be on a Merrie Monarch team. So it is definitely tough. However, when we do things as one and learn as one, it just makes things easier. And when I was asked to chant with Kumu next to her side, because I felt that I was good. My dream was just to be on that stage one time as a little girl, and and I was able to fulfill that 5 times because of Kumu, and now still be able to touch the stage 5 times more as a ho'opa'a next to her, and I absolutely love that spot. Mahalo Kumu. Hopefully, I get to do it more. And even that, though, the commitment, you have to have the commitment there, in and it's important, that because we are Kuma and I is one voice, and my job is to just be a part with her, but also never to overpower her, but always to just try to sound like her and sound as one too, as chanting with her. So it's easier because I don't have to uh, do the strenuous duck walks and back bends anymore. However, while chanting, I can definitely help be the eyes and help to uh, be able to guide the girls into dancing as one, and just tell the story. So it's pretty awesome. and very grateful to be able to still continue on the culture, the love of the culture, sitting next to Kumu.
Well, the chanting was a key part of it. I told Patsy that night. I said that man, that chanting came right through us, man. It hit us hard, and that really separated you folks from all the rest, in my non-expert opinion. I did want to go to the other Kumu, Jaina Parangao, because she's I mean she went and she still danced at the Mer Monarch. And recently, what do you just like appointed, or how do you become a kumu? You get appointed or invited or
uh, well, it was more up to Kumu herself, and if it's uh God's will for that you're ready, then she knows when you're ready, and that was the kuleana that I took on, is to be by her side, to learn to take the bull by the horns and make sure that in the future the legacy of her and Kumure and Kumu George, Kumu uh, Kule and everyone else, that their legacy lives on, and that's the deep kauna, or the deep message of how you, when you become a kumu, that's the shoes that you must fill, and that's the kuleana that you take on. And I was very thankful that I was able to be on the stage, and to be able to see everyone's reaction to the mele that she chose. And I was so excited that it was about Kalahil. Like Kumu said, I don't think there was much mele about that part of the island. To be able to dance it with all of my hula sisters and still be next to them, it was amazing. I'll never trade that for anything in the world, is to dance next to my hula sisters, especially about our home town where we grew up, where our love for hula blossomed and grew.
awesome. In football, the successful teams are the teams that can operate as one, as you folks have mentioned. I kind of want to hear from the younger ones now, and we're just going to go up. I'm saving the Pavao girls for last because I'm going to be a little. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to hear their take.
Mel, if
yeah,
I could interject just for a moment. So when COVID hit and everything was going on, we didn't know tomorrow wasn't guaranteed, and it just got me thinking, like, gosh, what if something happens to me and I did not uniki anyone to carry on this very special gift that I've been given, right? And so I made that decision kind of way back to start training Jaina and get her prepared for that step. Now, people say, oh, she's a kumu, but how did she get to be on the Merrie Monarch stage? So one of the beautiful things from the founders of the Merrie Monarch Festival is that you can be a kumu hula and you can dance on the stage, but you cannot have an active halau. So for Jaina, she has received her degree, if you want to call it that, but she has not put that degree to work yet. So when I send her off in a couple of years, when my daughters come home and I send her off, and others that I will uniki along the way, they then do not qualify to be on that Merrie Monarch stage. They could join me as a ho'opa'a, but they cannot join me, cannot dance as an olapa no longer. So there are several halau that participate that have Kumu Hula who went through the uniki process on the stage as the olapa, but not with a formal halau just yet. And so I just want to clarify that, because I know there's a lot of people that are curious about Merrie Monarch and how Merrie Monarch operates, and I think it's a beautiful thing in that the founders thought about that, because many times you want to bestow that that blessing upon your haumana, not necessarily sending them off yet to venture on their own. So this was a very unique situation for us, but across the board, many halau. Oh, and that's Brady agreeing with me. Sorry about my dog, but I just wanted to share about that.
Awesome. Yeah, you don't want to punish them for reaching that level of Kumu. All right. Now, is that Zarika? Is that
Zer-
I Zarika? Is that what it is?
Zerica.
Oh, Zarika. I know. I get short, very, very, very short memory. So you're what? Are you like the youngest that danced at the Merrie Monarch?
No, I'm actually I'm in the middle. I'm no longer
Okay.
the youngest, but I'm in the
You
middle.
know like, how preparation wise, I think a lot of us don't appreciate the work that goes into number one being part of a halal, number two participating in Merrie Monarch. How was it for you? Was it tough? Was it hard to balance the schedules and participate?
It's definitely not easy. Um, I balance school, hula, and work. And as one of the younger girls, or middle and younger, I can say that it's definitely not the easiest with school. Um, we don't practice as late as we used to for this journey, but I remember we would finish around 10 o'clock, and then the next morning we have to either go to work or go to school in the next morning, and we have to wake up early. And it's everybody sacrifices something, and I'm so grateful for all my hula sisters. They have kids, or they have other things to take care of, and we all sacrifice to go to practice and be together as one, and I'm just so grateful for that. um yeah,
You excited? Cannot wait for next year.
I cannot wait for next year. I'm ready to go.
Chanelli, how was the experience for you? Was it tough to juggle around life and still be able to make all the training and the practices and the competition?
Well, it is a tough thing to do, but I do have the guidance from everyone. And I think the thing that I learned the most this year with having to juggle school, even working and doing hula and cheer all together is that communication really is key for everything. And I thank the Iwohis and my own family as well for teaching me that and having everybody having the patience with me to allow me to do both because I wouldn't be able to without the support from everyone.
Yeah, I have worked with Akala in Pop Warner, and she's tough, but she's good. She's really, really good. All right, Kumo, you might want to go in another room right now while your daughters confess.
No, no, no. I have a feeling I know what they're gonna say. If we think alike, I know what they're gonna say.
Well, just know, Breeze and Jaden, that this show is uncensored, unscripted, unrehearsed. So we kind of want to hear it from the Kumu's daughters. How tough is it being the daughter of the Kumu?
Okay, you go first while I plug this in.
Okay. I'm actually Auntie Janelle's niece, but basically her daughter. Um,
She looks more like my mom, so
Yeah,
everybody
sorry,
always
it's the
thinks
hair,
that
yeah.
she's the daughter.
it's the hair. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I feel that Kumu is pretty fair right across the board. It's your actions will result in a consequence or a reward, and that's the same right across the board for everybody. If we make a mistake, we're down on our knees doing our back bends because we know we owe it to our hula sisters. Yeah, so she's pretty fair right across the board. We get yellings if we do something completely wrong, and so does everybody behind us, but we truly do take it as a lesson more than a scolding or anything like that. I think Breeze can agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, the 13 other people, well, me and my sister, prior to this year, me and my sister would dance together, and everybody gets to go home after practice, and not go home with Kumu. But me and Jeslie are with Kumu 24/7. So we're, I don't think that my mom changes for hula. My mom is who she is, and she treats every haumana as if they were me and Jeslie, as her own daughters. And I think that's what makes it so special. And our bond with my mom and everyone else's kumu is she's not just a kumu, she's a mom to everybody. And I think Jaina, Chaneli, Zerica, all of you on here, you guys would agree. Everybody loves my mom like a mom, and my mom loves everybody like a daughter. And for us, even Zerica did keiki hula, you know, to talk about training. Training used to be hard. It used to be very hard. When we were kids in 2009, when we went to our first big hula competition, we trained like we were training for Merrie Monarch. Like, we don't smell that kind of training for Merrie Monarch. But it just goes to show, like, for everybody who has come before us, the amount of growth and learning and the trail that they paved, or the path that they paved for us to be on today. All of our hard work in the past, all of the legends that they like to be called, all of the legends before us laid that foundation for us and really makes our practices easier. It's not just us and how we perform that day. It's because we know of the hard work that came before us. But important is just love, you know, across the board with everybody, and the love that my mom has for us, the love that we have for my mom, and the love that we have for each other makes training and everything very, very easy. Yeah.
I hear cookie frogs.
Oh yeah,
I,
you
I,
know, and we don't hear it until somebody says something because we're so used to it. So now we hear them, but
I actually heard it at watching the Merrie Monarch.
oh
And I'm not sure
yes,
how
I
far away
noticed
those
that during our
microphones.
Awana. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so quiet that if you watch our video back, our performance back, you can hear the koki in the background. They're singing with Uncle Kuana and Kumu Robert. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty
We could hear it loud on the TV. We could definitely
cool.
hear that.
I'm so glad that you mentioned the cookie because I was embarrassed to think that I didn't mute my mic as I was eating my favorite Skittles.
There he goes.
Here
There he
we go.
goes.
Oh
You,
boy.
you know, you know, Charlie is a Snicker fan. He's now converted to Skittles. But last night we had a dinner we had to go to in Lihue. We both were invited to the same dinner, and this show has informed the world that he is a Snicker man. So in fact, the host of the
Hmm.
of the dinner came up and gave him Snicker bars as a mahalo.
I love it.
Oh my God, Kumo!
Yes.
I saw you wipe your eyes a couple of times while they were talking. How does that make you feel? That is so powerful. What your daughter just said, making every Haumana feel like a daughter, uh, and how everyone looks up to you as a mother. How does that make you feel?
You know, being a Kumu Hula is definitely an honor, and it's a privilege, and it's a blessing. But with it comes so much responsibility, right? You become not only a Kumu, you become a mother, you become a friend, you become a counselor. And I've, again, for 25 years I've taken on that role, uh, but I've grown in that 25 years. So, one who danced for me, or who started out Merrie Monarch or Keiki Hula with me years ago, that's what Breeze is getting to, is that, gosh, it's changed. I don't yell as much, none of that, not hardly at all. And I think it's because you prepare your dancers, you mold them into the olapa you need them to be, which is not a performer. I don't want performers. I've said that so many times. I don't want performers. I want storytellers. I want people who can connect and manifest. And so you work so hard as a kumu, and our halau work hard to mold these olapa, and then now you get to this point and you kind of go, this is a mele, this is what it's about, let's go and learn about it, let's embrace it, and then deliver. I don't have to yell anymore. And I believe that's the beauty of our journey this year and last year, was there was like almost no yelling. The girls take it upon themselves, like Jaden said, they make a mistake, they're down on their knees. I don't even have to tell them. They know the consequence, and they take responsibility for their mistakes so that they don't repeat it again. And that's their devotion to their hula sisters and myself. Um, but yeah, it is special, and I tell you what, it is a pride, as a Kumu Hula, when you see your students grow from small. They're like your children, right? They grow up, and then you watch them in their hula journey, and then they're off to college. And I always tell my homana, dream big, dream big, dream big. Now I'm getting to the point, like, I don't want to say dream big already, because they're going, I have students becoming pharmacists and doctors, and I love it, but boy, I miss them. I miss them, and I hope that they all come back home someday, come back to us here on Kauai. But I really believe the hula teaches our people, our students, to love, to respect the ethics of working hard, of being sacrifice, giving sacrifice, because everybody sacrificed, right there, including myself. Today I got to watch my son play baseball, and I was so excited, and he made a great hit. And I look at my son, and I know that this is the life that I have been blessed with, but I want to make sure that I balance. Yeah, I balance and make sure my son knows that his baseball and his football and his soccer is so important to mommy as well. And so I find in this world we live in now, the yelling is no longer needed. It's just embracing each other's lives, and just trying to be um, considerate that everybody has a life outside of hula. And but we made it work. We make it work year after year. And I just couldn't be more proud of my students. They achieve great things outside of hula, which is brings me much joy. I'm not saying hula is completely responsible for their great accomplishments, but I gotta believe our ancestors knew what they were doing with the hula, and the style of training that was passed on down generation after generation. I didn't come up with this training and respect and hard work and all this, kapu and all these different things. Those things are passed down generation after generation, and it just made for really solid kanaka. And so I'm stoked to have some solid wahine and kane and keiki. I mean, oh my gosh, Mel and Uncle Charlie, I told my keiki, each class this week we watched the performances, and you could see the sparkle in their eyes. You could see the sparkle as they watched their hula sisters. And I sat there thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a whole couple rounds to go here with these kids, but I want them to dream big, because you know it's such a great world out there when our children do wonderful things.
Well, let me
I'm,
ask
I'm
the big.
Charlie, real quick. I'm glad
Okay.
you're not yelling anymore, because I think
No.
now I maybe would consider maybe me and Charlie joining your Kane class.
Yes.
I was so scared of your yelling. That's what I kept hearing. I said I'm not going to join, but maybe now me and Uncle Charlie can go join.
Hmm.
Oh boy, Mel, there you go.
Ah, and
No, but I
and
wanted to ask the group, the entire group, how has the feeling been since you've been back? I'm pretty sure you're getting continue to get the accolades, and how are you handling it? Because you know, I said to my granddaughter, when she won Miss Maui, I said, sweetheart, you still got to be humble now
Mhm.
because you represent Kauai, and you gotta you gotta stay on the rails. Just do it right. How are you folks handling all the recognition? Because it it, it for Kauai, it's never been done before, and it's special. It's special. So I
It
leave that question open to any one of you. Any one of you.
Well, it is. Monday I went out for a cup of coffee, and that was not successful at all. By, I never got to really drink my cup of coffee, but it was so, for me as a Kumu, wow, it's a celebration for Kauai. Not only us, our whole entire state and everywhere, but we're a special island. I'm a little bit biased. We're a very special island. And every once in a while, we need something like this to bring us all together. And it's hula is in the air right now. Love is in the air. You can feel the entire island so proud. I mean, people at my side. By the way, I think everybody watched Merrie Monarch this year. If they didn't watch it live, they watched. I've never seen so many people say, "Oh my gosh, you guys were amazing." I'm like, "Really? You watch hula?" I love it. So I think for Kauai, it elevated our love and our respect and the honor for hula. I mean, I don't know if any of my other girls want to chime in on that, but boy, it feels amazing. Like we're happy for Kauai. We're gl- blessed. Our halau is blessed, but I feel like, wow, this was so awesome for our island and its people.
Sorry, I just want to go ahead and say that it's a numb feeling, after 10 years, we've been blessed throughout the 10 years to be awarded with something and to be recognized for our hard work. But to hear our name called so many times, it was numb. By the last time, it's like really again? Like, no, there's no way. Like it was unbelievable. But I think managing it, it's not difficult because we don't recognize it as our win. It's not my win. It's not her win. It's not my mom's win. It's a win for Kauai and Wahine Keaulipa and Kumu Robert. It's a
Mhm.
win for every single hand that picked a Lawa'e Fern or picked Palapalai, or even the people who just said congratulations or in their prayers, oh, God, please bless Halau Kale Mokihana Leina'ala. It wasn't our win. We were lucky to hear our name called, but the second that Halau Kale Mokihana and it recognizes Kauai, it was a win for everybody. And we were just honored to be there to collect that award and bring it home and be welcomed home with the people who we were representing and who the award was really for.
Right. And then our comments to everybody, like responding to the heartfelt wishes and stuff, like that'll never be enough to thank everybody. Like I tried so hard to get through all of it and I'm like, there's just no words. I can't say it enough. Like, thank you. Like I mean it. Like we truly, truly mean it when we say it. And yeah, like I hope that showed in our hula that that was for everybody, everybody on Kauai. And I hope that serves as our thank you as well, because we can continue to text everybody and comment, but that's just not enough. So yeah, thank you.
I want to interject again. This year, for the first time in the history, I believe, of Merrie Monarch, there was a Kauai judge, Kumu Hula ke Haulani ke Kua. And that made it very emotional and special for us. When especially when they called the awards and I went up to the stage, wow, I looked at her and I cried. And no one judge can make you win, just to make that clear, right? There's 7 judges. The highest score is dropped, the lowest score is dropped, the 5 remaining scores get added up, and that's your final score. So, but for the first time, we were looking at, we knew that someone from our aina was receiving our love, and it was shared. That was awesome. I don't know, girls, you guys agree? That was pretty awesome. Like, you almost had to hold back, because you want to cry, because you're looking at somebody that understands your love for Kauai. She understands Makana the beauty. She understands Cold Pond there out in, Limahuli. It's like, wow, it was amazing. So that was awesome too. I have to say that felt really good to have somebody from Kauai on the panel of judges.
Anyone else? Come on.
I just say all
I
shine.
I know. How come? I will. I know we're running out of time, but I did want to give you guys an opportunity. Each one of you, this video will get shared and shared and shared and shared. So you'll have an opportunity to reach out to a lot of people that supported the halal. But we'll get to that at the end. But anyone else have any thoughts on what Uncle Charlie asked you guys about the reaction, the from the public now that you guys are home and trying to somewhat get back to normal?
I want to say something. So
Sure.
it was absolutely a beautiful feeling. Um, Definitely blessed all of these years to uh, receive an award in something yearly. However, to bring home those trophies that we received and bring it home to Kauai. It was an amazing feeling. And hearing our name called time and time again, it was almost numb, like Bree said. And I asked my daughter, I said, Braylon, can our name even be called again? Because we were like, wow, it's so huge that we brought to Kauai. And then to come home and get the homecoming that we did was so beautiful. Um, from oh gosh, sorry, my puppies too. So to receive that homecoming from the crash fire, doing that for us, and it took amazing people to put that together, to have everyone at the airports. All of our sisters there, Hula Sisters, Hula Ohana, the mayor, everybody, you was such a beautiful feeling. And yet to go into work and they decorate your office, they give you a round of applause when you walk in. It's such a humbling experience, but to know that we did this for our island, for Kauai and Ni'ihau, for every hula sister and every hula brother that put a step foot on that stage, for every person that supported us, bought a ticket, or came to our our endless fundraisers. It's them. And when I hug a hula sister who has touched the stage or came to the airport, and I said, this is for you too. You did it, we did this together. So it is such a wonderful feeling, to bring the ultimate prize home to our beautiful island, and for the people of Kauai and Ni'ihau and all of our supporters. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for just your unconditional love and your support for each and every one of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? No? Well,
Zerica wants to fire away. I can see her.
I know. She's like just all
That's
bottled up,
fine.
ready to
Wow, wow.
explode.
Zerica.
Alrighty.
Let me help her. Let me help her. Whoop. There you go. Like
So-
you're a hero. You're a hero status, right? You're like hero status on Kauai right now.
For our homecoming, I just remember it was unbelievable. We had the firefighters, they did the water lay for us, and that was the beginning of my crying already coming home. Well, actually leaving Hilo, I was ball crying on my way to the airport. And as we arrived on Kauai with the water lay, I was just in more and more tears because I could see everybody. There were people in their trucks waving at the airplane coming in, and it's just an unbelievable feeling. It was like everybody else said, it was kind of numbing. Like I didn't really take it all in until I got home, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was watching the videos on Facebook that happened, and it's just such a crazy feeling. What else? I am a hostess at Kyoki's Paradise, and I was wearing one of the lei that I got from my grandma when we arrived on Kauai, and one of the ladies said, oh, that's a beautiful lei. Is it a special occasion? And I replied, I just came back from Merrie Monarch yesterday, and my grandma gave me this very special lei as a welcome home. And she was like, oh my gosh, you were on the newspaper. I saw you. And this is like somebody that I've never seen her before, but she was so happy, so happy for H. Kalamoel and Kauai, and she gave me a big hug. And when I walked back to the hostess stand after seating her, I was like, wow, that's when I really realized somebody that I haven't ever met before, it really impacted them. And I thought that was super special. That's when I realized that we aren't just doing this for our halau, we're doing this for all of Kauai. And it's just so special.
Definitely is. I when I did the video, there was, and I would have to go back and look again because my eyes was filled with water. I couldn't really see clearly, but Was that you hugging your grandma for that? Was your grandma at the airport?
No, she wasn't. I went
Okay, then it was one other of your dancers that was hugging. It was just full on crying, and they just locked up for maybe one of you can help me if you saw the homecoming video. I'm not sure who that was, but that was one of the most touching things I've ever seen in my life.
I think
At
it
that
was
moment,
Kailana Kanahele. She's the baby of the group. And
yeah, she was.
let me tell you, Mel, when we came off stage, we're blessed with a beautiful dressing room in Hilo, and we share in the same building with the Merrie Monarch office. And so once we get in the back and we kind of scream and hug and cry on our own, I allow the families to come in. They make their way from the stadium outside into our dressing room. And this year, it's amazing what I've witnessed over the years. But this year, I saw Kailana's father. Oh shucks, I'm gonna cry. I saw Kailana's father, this big Hawaiian, awesome Kanaka, wrap his daughter up in his arms, and he cried. Like it was just to see a dad so proud of his baby, speaking, chanting the language of his native land. He is Ohana is from Niihau. Oh man, I mean that kind of parents, that embrace a child will never ever ever forget. And so and I will never forget. And then we come home to Kauai, and I think it was her grandma at the airport or auntie that was hugging her again. And wow, it's those moments. That's the trophy. That for a Kumu anyway, that's the trophy for a Haumana, especially for a young girl like that. Wow, that they're gonna do great things, go far in life because of the love and support from the family. And our families, they know. And I want to say mahalo to all the dancers' families, including mine, right? My husband, he's in a background walking around. He's very shy, but um my husband and all our families, Akala's husband Brian, all of my girls and their boyfriends and whatever the young ones don't have, but their parents, their brothers and sisters who helped. We needed lots of la'i this year. Everybody went out and about to look for tea leaves, and we cannot do it without our families. So please, we want to shout out to all our ohana, our Mokihana ohana that helps us to get to where we need to be and to get there with peace and love and so forth. So yeah, that I know what you're talking about. I saw that on the live, and that was a tearjerker for sure.
Yeah, kind of caught me off guard. That one.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah,
the embrace was just so tight, and
yeah,
I look, I getting
yeah,
all the kind of get anyway.
yeah.
Whew, that was a quick hour. I again, I did want to allow you guys to share some mahalos. Charlie, any more questions for these fine women?
No, I think they did a good job tonight in expressing their inner selves, reaching out. You can just the simplest words for
Mhm.
those who are watching tonight and who are not from the island of Kauai. Now you understand how special this island is just by what these ladies have said tonight. So I hope and pray one day all the visitors, local and from the mainland, can come and experience that magic that we call home, Kauai. I hope
Mhm.
and pray that they get to experience that.
Yes,
All right,
definitely. And one more thing before we close out, I want to say mahalo to all. I call them our sponsors, but everybody, who we fundraise and for how long? A year, right? To get to Hilo. And it's very, very, very costly. Everywhere you look at it, it costs something to get there. And so we couldn't get there with everybody without those that bought wonton chips, came to our events at Iliahi. A big shout out to Grow Farm, one of our largest supporters. Um, big projects coming up with them, and they really have embraced our halal, and I'm so grateful to Grow Farm. I mean, so many on our island businesses, our leaders, everybody helped out along the way. So again, too many to name, but we definitely appreciate every contribution and prayer. Prayers are important, and so we appreciate that a lot. You could just feel really good energy. We feel that every year, though, yeah, ladies. Like you feel loved. We feel like Kauai is in Hilo, and we have all of Kauai with us. So it really, we love our home so much and love our people.
And the love, is not just from, obviously, like I said, you're our home team, but your halal has gained, not that it didn't have the respect, but there were so many. I watched the other halal stand up and cheer when they called your names. It was genuine. That was they knew that you deserve those awards. I saw that. I wasn't there, but I saw it on the screen. It was clear to me that they were so happy for your halal, and I thought that was special. Um, so we're gonna go. We're just gonna start on the bottom, no particular order, but I'm just gonna go so I don't lose track because I am getting old. Kumu Jaina, any closing thoughts for our viewers?
Um, I I'm speechless. I don't know. I'm not one of words. I'm more of a physical. Love you, hugs. Uh, it's definitely your love and support definitely got us there. So that's that's more than enough love for us, and we thank you for that. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Here you go again.
I just want to say mahalo to everybody. It's definitely with all the support and help that we get from all of Kauai that we were able to bring Kauai to Hilo and share our love for the island on the stage. And we are so proud to share this victory with Kauai and its people.
Awesome, Chanelli.
I just want to say a mahalo to everybody because it couldn't have happened without you. And now I feel like everybody can see Kauai through our eyes, how much we love our island, and um, everything that I've heard from people, the congratulations, it's really shown me that we can we can do big things if you just put your mind to it, and
Mhm.
it just couldn't have happened without all of our families.
Awesome. Yeah, the families. I tell you, so much sacrifice. So much sacrifice. Akala.
Wow. Just thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for your love and support all of these years. And just for allowing us to every year to take you to Hilo, um, and also for the people watching this year we did um, have bring them to Kauai. We Kumu said she wanted them to smell Kauai, feel Kauai, So that's what we did, and obviously that definitely uh, the judges came to Kauai as well. So, just mahalo nui for the love and support in all that we do and prayers. So, thank you all so much. Thank you, Mel and Charlie, for having us on this show. Um, and appreciate all what you guys do in your shows and all the lives you touch. So thank you so much. Mahalo nui.
Thank you, Akala. All right, here we go.
Okay, well, first of all, um, I think we're gonna do this together. First of all, thank you, Uncle Mel and Uncle Charlie, for having us tonight and for yeah, having us here and allowing us to share about our journeys. Second of all, thank you to Hilo for welcoming us, well, welcoming our halal from Kauai to Hilo, and for putting on such a wonderful hula festival, Merrie Monarch Hula Festival. Third, thank you to Kauai and Ni'ihau for all your support, your love, wonton chip sales and shows and everything that you put a single penny into, or just any ounce of love that you give. Mahalo nui. Um, and lastly, mahalo keakua for this wonderful journey, this opportunity of representing Kauai and this wonderful life that he has given us to be able to perpetuate the hula. And my last thought, I guess, would be see you back in Hilo in 349 days for next year's Merrie Monarch Hula competition. I'm can't wait to start 349 days more.
Kumu, you must be one proud mama right now.
You know, I am, and I want to shout out really quick as a proud mom. My Breezan is graduating in 2 weeks with a double bachelor's from the University of Hawaii at Hilo. So she will be in the market for a job soon. But I'm so proud of her. And my second one, Jess Lee, who composed our Oli that we opened up our Kahiko performance with. I'm so proud of her. She's in Texas right now. It's about 1 in the morning, I think, there, so she's not watching. But I am going to pick her up next week and bring her home. She's completed her first year at TCU, Texas Christian University. But this is what I'm talking about: how these young ladies and men, they dream big, and I just love the Kahua, the foundation that the hula has provided them, along with their family, along with other mentors out in the community. But um, wow, it's going to take a while for this to sink in. But one question that keeps on coming up in my interviews is, what are we going to do moving forward? And we're not going to do anything different. We're going to do us. We're going to do Kauai. We're going to be ourselves. We're going to stay ha'a, stay humble. We're going to lead with love. We're going to just share to the best of our ability. The responsibility is much larger than just us. And so we're going to continue to perpetuate and carry on Kumure's legacy. And I look forward to my baby Breeze. I look forward to Merrie Monarch next year as well, the 11th year for us. And we'll see how that journey goes. I know, like I said, we're just going to do the same thing. Let the mele find us, let it embrace us, then we embrace it, bring it to life, and just share. And so thankful. Thank you, sweetheart, for mentioning Keakua, because, at the core of all we do is God. And my girls know we pray a lot. We pray a lot. We pray. And when we came in after our performance, I said, we ask God to guide us in our prayer. We ask Him to guide us, to keep us healthy, to keep us happy. And He did. He always does. And so we are so grateful to our Heavenly Father. And those that have left, right? I always say there must be a line in heaven, and my mom keeps cutting in line because, we're blessed so much. But thank you, Mel. Thank you, Uncle Charlie, for having us on. And mahalo nui kauai and ni'ihau. We love you, folks. We feel your love, and we are grateful. We are so grateful. And stay tuned. We are planning to do something to mahalo everyone in person and share our two performances here live, free for everyone to come and watch. So please stay tuned for that.
Beautiful. Awesome. Uncle Charlie.
Well, first, I'd like to say a big mahalo to our guests tonight, the lovely ladies, and Kumu Leina'ala. You know, I've been gone from this platform for over 2 weeks, and it's a great feeling coming back, and especially when Mel, you made it a promise that tonight would be a feel good Friday, and I think it's been accomplished. I believe that goal has been accomplished. That the message tonight is through through hula, through the keeping of traditions. I feel really good, and I hope all of you out there feels good.
Yeah.
But there is one thing I do want to share, and that is, and I've said this over and over again. Working at the airport, I do want to express how, and I will say this in my closing of this portion. Upon the thanks that we give to our guests tonight, I ask the good Lord to keep them safe. Keep all of you who are watching safe. This pandemic is still looming
Mm.
everywhere, and a good friend of mine just got hit in on the Big Island with it, and prayers go out to him. He's one of my managers, and I hope and pray that he gets over it quickly. But let's just for those who watching that know that Mel and Charlie, it's all about safety and COVID. to continue to share the safety message. Okay. If I cannot convince you to take a booster or wear a mask, then convince yourself just to be safe however you want to do it.
Mhm.
But just keep safety in your lives. And that's all I ask. That's the gift that I want for everyone. Just keep safe always. And with that said, Mel, I'll turn it back to you.
Mahalo.
Well, you guys are amazing. It was definitely a feel good Friday. Every time I change the screen to full screen, it's because I gotta wipe the tears out of my eyes. 'Cause, I don't like nobody see me crying. I've done it too many times on this show. For our viewers, you guys got the first hand look at the halau, the kumu, the dancers. Um, and I know a lot of you. I've seen some of the comments. Oh, I wish I had known about the fundraising. Well, guess what, guys? Let me. I'm gonna open up my screen only because I gotta. I hate putting me full screen. That's go to Facebook. You guys, I know you guys all have Facebook because you guys are on Facebook watching this thing. Go to Halau Kale Mokihana o Leina'ala. Follow the group. Follow the group, and whenever they have fundraisers, whenever they have events, whenever they have anything that pertains to the halau, you will be notified. So make sure you go to Halau Kale Mokihana o Leina'ala tonight, and make sure your notifications are set to on, so that way, whenever I mean, listen, it's hard to bring home all the awards from the Merrie Monarch. It's tough. You heard it from these girls, and they're gonna go back next year, and they're gonna. I love what you said, Kumu, that you're not gonna do anything differently. I think that you guys told the story, and the story was well received, and that's why you were so successful. So I'm so happy you'll be the same. So for all of us here who can enjoy in the celebration afterwards, we have an opportunity to help this halau throughout the year, simply by following their page. So you will know when things happen. I don't know how else to thank you, folks. I know getting all of you together for this period is difficult. You guys all have lives. We just appreciate you all so much spending the time with us tonight, sharing a little bit about the journey, about the halau. We love you guys. We're so proud of you guys, and we just wish nothing but the best for all of you going forward. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you guys. Stay
Mahalo
safe.
nui. Thank you. Love you guys. Mahalo nui. Good night, girls.
Have a super safe, blessed weekend, everybody. We'll see you
Thank
guys next week. Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha kawa